3 weeks. That is all the time I have left before I disappear into the desert. From Morocco to South Africa, the Mount Everest of expedition overlanding, 16,000 kilometers of friction. At the same time, I'm dismantling a safe 6-figure business in Germany. To the outside world, this looks like a midlife crisis. To me, it is a calculated asset transfer. But what is the link? How does a Jeep in the Congo help you escape your office in Berlin? Stick around. By the end of this video, it will all make sense. Okay, let's look at the risk. I'm leaving my daily business unattended for 4 months. You don't need an MBA to see that it creates an imminent bottleneck for a one-man operation if the one man disappears for 4 months. Naturally, I try to delegate. I have great freelancers, but let's face it, I'll be off the grid with limited access to phone, mail, and WhatsApp. I am not irreplaceable. I will lose accounts. I'll lose revenue. So if I kill my source of income, how am I paying for all of this? Did I inherit millions? Is my wife the daughter of Pablo Escobar? Or am I just insanely reckless? Well, actually, my wife's last name is Escobar, and she is Colombian. But sadly, no hidden millions there. So recklessness? No, it's strategy. I'm using a strategy I call the bridge. I'm using my old skills to finance my new start. So here's the thing. I approached Johannes, the MD of Adventure Off. Based in the heart of Europe, they organize overlanding expeditions like the Trans-Africa, all over the world. Albania, Algeria, Greece, Peru, Sweden, Tanzania. You name it, they have a tour there. His problem? He offers one of the most exclusive expeditions in the world of overland. But he did not have somebody to document. Not a shaky vlog, a high-end cinematic documentation of his tour. And that is where my System 1.0, my skills as a videographer, became the key that opened the door. Now stop right there. I know the objection forming in your head. Sure, Andreas, easy for you. You have a camera. I might be a programmer, an accountant, or a consultant. I can't trade my code for a Safari. Well, yeah, I hear you. But if this is your mindset, you're still thinking like an employee. You're focusing on the task, not the actual value that you create. Johannes didn't buy a video. He bought a marketing asset. And as an entrepreneur that he is, he knows that my work will earn him money down the line. If I were a programmer, I would have offered to automate his entire booking backend to save him 20 hours a week. If I were a lawyer, I would have structured his liability contracts for 12 African borders. Or if I would be an accountant, I would have offered to look into his books. The specific skill is irrelevant. The bridge strategy works for anyone who solves a high-stakes problem for a high-value partner. Knowing this can bring you so much closer to your dream, because in the end, you just have to pick the industry that can be the bridge for your goal. So Johannes and I, we struck a barter deal. I produced the content for his brand. In exchange, he covers the expedition costs. Now, do the math with me. Johannes covers logistics. Is that a salary? No. Does it cover my lost revenue from Germany? Absolutely not. Mathematically, I'm losing money every single day I am gone. So why do it anyways? Because of leverage. It will make sense in a minute. Stay with me. One thing I learned in my turbulent 20s. Radical change requires a radical environment. You cannot reinvent yourself while sitting in the same office chair you've sat for in the last 5 years. And this is critical for anyone wanting to pivot. I am using my hard skill, videography, as a Trojan horse, if you will. It is that key that unlocks a door I otherwise couldn't open. It buys me access to a high-caliber environment without paying the entrance fee in cash. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. He's working for free. Isn't that the oldest trick in the book in his industry? Hours of work for a collab in Instagram in the end. Exposure. Well, Johannes and I are strategic partners. And even if we were, look at the asset I'm getting. The leverage. What I am building now cannot be built in a comfort zone. How credible would I be preaching about resilience from a warm, well-lit studio in Germany? Like, to be honest, zero. Trans-Africa isn't just a trip, it's the perfect backdrop. It is the petri dish in which I prove that my strategy works. Or at least I hope to prove it. I am trading short-term revenue, basically cash, for a long-term authority, namely brand equity. And this is what, for me, entrepreneurial thinking is about. It is not about guaranteed safety, of course. It's about spotting asymmetric bets. So what I'm doing is actually the definition of a strategic pivot. You don't just jump off a cliff, you build a bridge. So in the first episode, I explained the why. Now you know the how, but you still don't know the what. In the following videos, I'll finally talk more about my actual plan. I'm trying to build 4 pillars that are hopefully helping me to replace my freelance income to get me out of this golden trap I'm always talking about. So if this sounds interesting for you, and if you want to see me trying to prove my own strategy in this Africa expedition, I'm happy to take you along. You know the drill. Subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. And if you're really generous, why not drop a comment? Thank you.